questions for running back Evan Pryor. Scott?
Evan, you played a lot of football. It's your first 2 touchdown games, so tell me about that.
Yeah, no, I felt good, man. I mean, not much of a difference from one score, just an opportunity for me to help my team, honestly.
How different has it felt this year with the way that this offensive line is playing? Does it feel like just get to the line and they're gonna make something happen for you?
Yeah, for sure. In the running back room, we got a lot of trust in those guys up front, so we just do our part, stand on track, things like that, and let them take care of the rest. We know they're gonna get us to the second, third level. We just gotta be great from there.
Do you always get really excited when they call that counter play because you were so dangerous on it last year? I think that might have been one of the first times you broke a big run on it this year.
Yeah, really anything. I try not to box myself in too much. When it comes to like certain run plays and calls, things like that. I just try to fit it to myself. In terms of how can I make this play a touchdown.
What's your reaction on the sideline when Tawee does that to somebody?
First reaction is like, golly, like, bro just lowers his shoulder like that and just literally runs through a human, but then after that it's like, all right, like I can't wait to get out there too, like that's a good thing, me and 3 got going, we've developed, a real good friendship, since he arrived here, and even day in, day out in practice, we compete with each other, I'll have a good run, he'll have a good run, we go back and forth, we feed off of each other, so that's something that's going to help this team in the long run down the line.
You got that in your game? Want somebody over like that?
I do. I do. I just, I prefer to see 6 points on the board, so I'm keep doing that.
Evan, talk about the offensive line too. Obviously, talk about the job they've done today to allow you to have the game that you had. Obviously, your first 2 runs went for the 30-yard touchdown. Second run went for 21. What were the offensive line doing so well that allowed you to get going and have the day like you had today?
Really just the mindset those dudes come in with, like literally every week, something they say before the game is that they can't stop us, and everyone probably says that around the country, but like those dudes truly believe it, and it shows, not only when I touch the ball, but when 3 touches the ball or Sorsby keeps it, things like that. So, I just believe in those guys, man, and for the rest of it, just trust my ability.
Along those same lines, how important is it, Evan, when you guys are demonstrating you're more physical than the opponent, you're exerting your will over them, if you will, to start this game? It seemed like the offensive line that bled over into the defense with big hits. It seemed like you guys won the line of scrimmage both sides.
Yeah, for sure. And when you see you can do that to a team, you start to kind of like lick your lips a little bit and like really get excited because obviously, there's scheme and things that goes into football, but when you line up across from someone and you just know that they can't do anything, to stop you or the guys next to you, it brings a different level of confidence. So we just got to keep building off of it.
On your second touchdown, you showed a lot of strength at the goal line. Was that something that you wanted to show? I'm not showing something that you wanted. There's a new part to your game because you're just.
Yeah, not really. I wouldn't say a new part. I feel like last year the role I had was just more so, being the change of pace dude, come in and make a big play. So a lot of the other things, that I've worked on around out my game wasn't really put on display too much. So this entire year, I've been focused and honing in on, displaying things like that, breaking tackles, making guys miss on the third level, things like that. So. I've been working on it. I'm glad y'all are able to see it and notice that as well.
You were a part of some tough losses last year. Between this week and last week, these seem like games last year the Bearcats lose. What's different about this team this year that you're able to come away with 2 back-to-back wins?
Yeah, we got some new pieces, but for the main part, our whole team is back. So a lot of the situations we see ourselves in this year, we saw ourselves in last year. So that's the difference. We can look at a situation like today going up big at halftime and knowing how Pitt worked out last year, is huge, when you have that confidence and that experience in the back of your mind to be able to know, yeah, we're up 31-7, but it doesn't really mean anything to the clock hits 00. So, that's something we preached at halftime and any situation we're in, we feel like we've seen a lot of looks, a lot of things, from last season. So we're just going to keep building off of that.
Evan, you're pass blocking a lot better this year. You've obviously taken on an even larger role. Are you really happy with the way you approach this offseason and the way that this has just culminated in you being not a change of pace of back anymore, but literally a 1-2 punch, thunder with Tawee.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's all I've asked from this team. You know, these coaches and the strength staff in my development. You know, to help, you know, do things like that, get me stronger, so I can round my game out, things like that. So there's really not in too many situations where, you know, it's like, all right, let's bring 6 off the field because he's lacking there, or, you know, vice versa. So you know, it's good that, you know, I have that trust, you know, with the coaches and my teammates as well, to just be out there in any situation.
Kind of piggybacking off of Marshall's questions, obviously now being here for your second season, talk about the environment today and what it was like to kind of see all that fruit and labor kind of pay off in a game like this afternoon, to see the fans rush the field. Talk about the process this last year and a half has been for you.
Yeah, I've never been a part of a stripe out, so, you know, it was cool to look up in the stands and see that. And then just, you know, having the crowd into it, how they were, you know, having them behind our back is a huge advantage for us, you know. So it was just huge, you know. And then, you know, games like this, you know, I can barely sleep the night before anyway. So it was no problem getting up and making a play today. I'm sure all the guys felt that way.
Aaron, final question.
Are Brennan or Tawee Walker going to blame you for the option fumble, saying that the hips weren't there, or that it was your play and not Tawee's play, or something like that again?
Yeah, I caught a small cramp play before, so I don't know. Maybe I would have been in on that play or not, but you know, we trust in we can make that play. Just didn't make that play right then, but we can make that play for sure.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, Brennan Sorsby.